South Lodge is a meticulously executed bespoke home. Lytham St Anne's is a Victorian coastal town in the northwest of England. It's also known as the Fylde Coast. It's not a large area, but it's a small demographic. The plot has literally 5 boundaries, and each boundary is on a separate angle. So it's not a straightforward plot to just design a house and sit it in the middle of the land. What I wanted to do, taking on board the client's brief, is utilise the orientation of the plot, utilise the boundaries to maximise the footprint of the house on the site and take advantage of the angles. So from certain areas in the house, there's certain vistas that gave you this impression when you entered the property that the money you were spending on this development is worth every penny, because every time you arrive home, it's an experience. Symmetry really isn't one of those things in life in general that you appreciate until it's wrong. It's the backbone of the design. Having spotlights equidistant in a ceiling, having tiles symmetrical in a hallway, from the initial approach to the property, the symmetry of the elevation at the front was absolutely key, and we ensured the cladding that we used was millimetre perfect. Us as human beings are not designed to be solitary creatures. We should be indoors and outdoors, and the rationale behind the outdoor space in this property is that you could literally do that no matter what time of the year. So summer, for instance, you can have the doors wide open and you can sit outside, you can sit inside, you can let the fresh air in. It won't ever get too bright when you're sat in the house, because the canopy at the back of the house has been designed to limit solar gain. And equally in the winter, if you wanted to open your bedroom doors, for instance, and let the fresh air in, if it was chucking down with rain, it would be absolutely fine. The 25-metre swimming pool was absolute key criteria, because both the homeowners are competitive swimmers. So it was crucial that they could swim together competitively, training, ready for their events. I considered which boundary side is this best located now. On the western boundary, it was closest to the neighbouring property, so we didn't want to do that. On the eastern boundary, the neighbouring property is much further away, so we've utilised the full length of that boundary to have this swimming pool room, but also taken advantage of the orientation of the site. So when you sit in the front room, you can literally look to your left and you've got the view, the full length of the swimming pool. British weather is mixed, and the design accommodates the weather. No matter what time of the year, you can be stood inside the property looking out, looking at all the foliage on the boundaries, in the garden, forever changing throughout the year. It's a changing canvas all year round, which just really promotes your experience as the homeowner residing in the property. For the master bedroom, this had to be at the back, this had to have the best views, this had to have the biggest ensuite and the biggest dressing room, and the emphasis with the design was to make this room one of the nicest rooms in the house. For the dressing room, for instance, this is nearly 25 square metres, it's absolutely vast. But that's what the client wanted. It was an ultra impressive ensuite with dual vanity basins, freestanding bath, walk in and out shower, and having this vista straight into the garden at the back. We designed 3 of the bathrooms just with a darker tile. It just creates a different mood with the lighting, and obviously it's a contrast and a balance to the rest of the property, which is very light and bright. When creating a bespoke home, maintaining the functionality and practicality of the home is absolutely key. The orientation of the kitchen with the 2 islands and the bar in the location that it is, and the practicality of accessing the fridge. You're making a cup of tea, you want to get the milk, you want to get the pans out, everything's in the right place. So it looks good, but it also functions perfectly. So the house is obviously, it's an eco house, and it might not appear as though it's an eco house from the outset, but it truly is. The materials we sourced, we researched the locations, the carbon footprint, the sustainability. But fundamentally, the homeowner didn't want any bills, didn't want any utility bills, and especially the crisis that we're in at the moment with soaring energy prices. The owner just wanted to have one cost for the house, and the house to basically be self-sufficient. So we installed as many solar panels as we could on the flat roof. There's 141 solar panels. So far, there's not been one electricity bill. And those solar panels power air source heat pumps, and the air source heat pumps heat the house and they heat the pool. So as long as the sun is in the sky, whether it's direct or behind a cloud, the solar panels work, they generate electricity with the batteries, and the house is self-sufficient. I think for me, when I look back at this project, it was really about making the most of the opportunity to be in a fortunate position to design and construct a completely unique home. I wanted to make sure that I delivered on this. My biggest driver was a fear of ensuring that this wasn't a failure for my client. And I think sat here in the home today, I think we've achieved that.